Am I the only one with this problem? Like, why is there nothing about this on YouTube or the rest of the internet? I looked, I didn't find it. And I can't believe I'm the only one with this problem. The problem being, if you have a rega turntable and you want to run it in balanced mode into a phono-pre with a balanced input, well, usually those come with XLR connectors, right? And, well, rega apparently does not believe in XLR connectors. They all come with single-ended RCA jacks. Now, one thing you can do is send your tone arm into a professional to replace the whole wire, or to solder a connector to the end of the tone arm wire. Or you can, of course, always use an adapter. Then you have the XLR, but you lose the symmetry, like it won't be balanced anymore. You just have the signal and the ground, and that's not what we want in a balanced connection. So, what I did, and what I will be trying to show you in a kind of step-by-step guide, is how I, ta-da, unsoldered the original cable and replaced it with a balanced one. So, follow me. I spared you having to look at all my soldering, because it really, it took hours. I did mistake after mistake. So unless you want to look at me like screaming, yelling, and banging my head and fists against the wall, well, no, I did not film that. The reason for that is basically that I decided to not just use any balanced wire, but I was curious about solidcore silver wires. So I used a super fine silver wire. You don't have to do that. You can just use any balanced cord. And yeah, so let's get into it. So once you've done all that, this is what you'll be holding in your hand. This is the plug. There you can see, you can open it. But first what you're going to do is, because rega is connecting the tone arm ground to the ground wire of the left channel, there, you need to cut the copper connection between the solder point for the ground wire and the ground of the left channel. So you just clip it and scrape it a bit and you're good. So now you open the plug, et voila, you expose the wire. Basically you just remove the wires. Oh, a little time jump. And a big time jump. This is how it looks after the job is done. As I said, you can use any sort of cable. Just make sure they're thin enough to fit through the holes of this tiny PC board. The ground wire, as you can see, it fits through this tiny hole in the center. Right there. And then after, you push it through first, then you reattach the plug and then you extend it. As for the connections on the XLR side, you solder the red and white wire to the center of each XLR plug and the green and blue to the right, looking from the back side. One last piece of advice: always check the connections before reassembling. Now this is how it looks after the job is finished. And there we go. This has been a successful but long and tedious surgery. Would I recommend this to anyone? Not if you don't exactly know what you're doing, because these things are really fragile. For anybody who does want to try this, I will put a link for instructions in the description. And for all the others, if you can handle a soldering iron and know how to solder carefully with stable hands, if you use a regular cable like the Summer Albedo, for example, it should not be too difficult and quite easy a job. Are there sonic differences? Well, I made a pre and post surgery recording, so I will upload that and then you can check for yourself. That's it. I hope this was helpful and keep enjoying your records.